the Chiefs beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl 31-20. And I got to say, first of all, I am so happy for the city of Kansas City. It's awesome. I am so happy for the Chiefs coach, Andy Reid. I'm happy for their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. And I'm sad for the 49ers. It's not, I didn't have a team I was really rooting for in the Super Bowl. It was very weird. I didn't care who won. I liked people on both sides. I think that both teams, the 49ers and the Chiefs, have good people involved, and it's hard to root against anybody. And I really just wanted a close and exciting football game. Now, what we got was close to that. We had a very solid football game. It was a bit odd. I would compare it to the College Football National Championship. The National Championship was amazing. It was Clemson and LSU, and it was jam-packed. It was fun the whole time. A lot of points were scored. We didn't really have that in the Super Bowl. If you compare the Super Bowl to the National Championship, the Super Bowl had some really fun moments. It also had some really boring moments. Now, the story of the game, in my opinion, is the Chiefs quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. He's phenomenal. He had a really good start to the game. The second Chiefs drive resulted in a Patrick Mahomes touchdown run. That was followed up by a field goal drive that gave the Chiefs 10 points. But then for a while, there was a whole lot of just, it's sort of boring. I'll be honest. The middle of the game, the middle portion of that football game last night, the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes didn't play great. And you could credit the 49ers defense if you want. Now, honestly, the reality is that Patrick Mahomes wasn't great. He just missed some throws. He had an ugly interception. He was inaccurate at times. But here, in the end of things, here's how things went down. The middle of the game was kind of boring. At halftime, the score was 10-10. Then the 49ers scored 10 more points. They were running the ball really, really well. And then the Chiefs got the ball down 20-10. The Chiefs were losing by 10 points with 8 minutes and 53 seconds left in the game in the fourth quarter on their own 17-yard line. And from that point in the game, the Kansas City Chiefs came alive. They were just on top of stuff. They scored 3 touchdowns on 3 straight drives, and the 49ers could not respond. The 49ers had a 3-and-out. They punted. And then the 49ers were faced with the most crucial moment of the entire game. It was 3rd and 10, and at that point, the 49ers were losing 24-20. And Jimmy Garoppolo on 3rd and 10 had Emmanuel Sanders wide open downfield on like the 5-yard line. And Jimmy Garoppolo missed the throw. Would have been a touchdown, and he missed. Then the Chiefs got the ball back. They scored again. They made the game. They made the score 31-20. The game was out of reach. Now on the final drive, Jimmy Garoppolo threw an interception. And if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo's final stat line, you will see, Jimmy G had 2 interceptions. But the truth is, if you look at the context of how they happened, neither interception really hurt the 49ers that much. It just didn't have a gigantic impact on the game. You can be that stats guy, look at the box score, but the box score doesn't tell the whole story of the football game. So Jimmy Garoppolo's first interception came early in the second quarter. Yeah, it gave the Chiefs the ball. Sure, I agree with that. But then the Chiefs had a 9-play drive, which led to them kicking a field goal. So technically, yes, on paper, the interception by Jimmy Garoppolo led to a field goal and gave the Chiefs 3 points. But the reality is that the Chiefs still had to drive 9 plays down the field in order to kick that field goal. It wasn't like Jimmy Garoppolo just handed them 3 points. And then that second interception of the game came in a moment of desperation at the very end. The Chiefs were leading 31-20 with a minute left. And, Jimmy Garoppolo threw up a prayer. And it wasn't really a prayer. It was just a good play by the defense. But the point is that in the end, the interceptions were not the reason why the 49ers lost. Now, I do believe Jimmy Garoppolo could have played better. There were a few plays really where George Kittle was open and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't throw him the ball. There were moments where I'm like, Jimmy, what are you looking at? There was like a third down. I was like, did you not see George Kittle wide open? What happened there? But you also got to ask, okay, did those 2 moments decide the game? Not really. They were third downs. He could have been better. That's fair enough. However, that 3rd and 10 play, that throw that Jimmy Garoppolo missed that would have been a touchdown, had a huge impact on the game. I believe it's going to haunt Jimmy Garoppolo for a long time. He's going to think about that throw and go, man, I had Emmanuel Sanders open on like the 5-yard line. Would have been a touchdown. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but we would have had a 27-24 lead. And, you're still not guaranteed a victory having that lead because you got to give Patrick Mahomes the ball back. But, man, I don't know. It was really sad watching the 49ers 10-point lead evaporate at the end of the game. It was painful. I mean, during the final 10 minutes of the game, the camera crew kept showing close-up shots of the 49ers players. And they looked defeated. They just looked like they looked beat. And they looked defeated even when they were up by 10 points. There was a moment where the 49ers were driving, and they showed a clip of, oh, poor George Kittle. George Kittle's face, man. They kept showing him, and he just looked out of it. He was like, oh, man, this is the moment. We're going to lose. We're going to lose this game to Patrick Mahomes. And so, I don't know, man. It was hard. I don't have a favorite team in this scenario. I'm happy for Patrick Mahomes, but I'm sad for the 49ers. I'm happy for the Chiefs, and I'm sad for the 49ers. And I don't know, man. I will say I'm slightly disappointed in Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. He was good at the end, but he had some really disappointing low moments throughout the game. There were moments I'm like, you can't make that throw. The guy's wide open, and you missed. And there were multiple times where Patrick Mahomes missed easy, fairly, not easy, but for his talent, fairly easy throws that he normally makes. But in the end, I said I'm disappointed. People are like, how could you be disappointed with Patrick Mahomes? Well, I have high standards for Patrick Mahomes. I know what he's capable of. But in the end, what am I saying? In the end, Patrick Mahomes did win the Super Bowl MVP. Here was his final stat line. He was 26 for 42 passing. He had 2 touchdown throws. Patrick Mahomes also had that 1 touchdown run early in the game. But he also had 2 interceptions. One of them was tipped. One of them was bad. I was like, what are you doing? It's like I think pressure was in his face a little bit. That might have affected the throw. But one of Patrick Mahomes' interceptions was just bad. So all in all, it was an imperfect performance. An imperfect performance by Patrick Mahomes. But you got to acknowledge, hey, Mahomes made plays when it mattered most at the end of the game. But all in all, very similar to Patrick Mahomes' performance, it was an imperfect Super Bowl. There was a lull in the middle section of the game where it was kind of like, okay, like, this is ugly football. And then the final 10 minutes were wild. It was a good start. It was a slow middle. The halftime show was cool. It was, I don't know, not my cup of tea. It was kind of funny. I was sitting around with my friends and like, it's the 4 of us. And I'm like, I can't think of another context where we would watch Shakira and Jennifer Lopez sing like this other than at the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm like looking at my buddy Jose and my buddy Russell. I'm like, I can't think of another opportunity, another time where we would have this experience together. And then that's a Super Bowl though. But then again, that final 10 minutes was great. However, I will acknowledge with a minute left, the game was over. And that was sad to me. With a minute left, the Chiefs led 31-20. And I just, I'm nitpicking here. I know this. People are going to be furious at me. They're always mad no matter what I say. But I was kind of disappointed that the game didn't come all the way down to the wire quite the way I wanted. I really wanted the last minute, the final drive to be a team taking the lead or trying to take the lead. And Jimmy Garoppolo threw an interception and the Chiefs kneeled a bunch. And I don't know, man, the game didn't quite go exactly the way I hoped all the way down to the wire, but it was still, in the end, we had a really solid Super Bowl. It was a good time. I'm sad for the 49ers. I'm happy for the Chiefs. And all in all, it was a solid Super Bowl.